My name is Gerry White. I live in Randall, Washington. It's off of Highway 12 in central Washington. I have 11 to 12 acres of hay. It's basically a horse ranch, and I was first approached by AT&T in September of 2017. Several months later, AT&T responded with an actual offer. The offer included a monthly lease payment as well as a time period over which was 25 years. So my neighbors happened to have a cell tower on their property, so I went over and talked to them, and they said, well, what we would encourage you to do is to contact a consultant, because they can really help you get a lot more money for all this. And I thought, well, okay, so they gave me the name of Tumbuhi at Terabonne. When I was actually working prior to my retirement, I had negotiated many multi-million-dollar settlements. So I knew negotiating, I knew how to do that with big companies and stuff. And while I knew the subject that I was negotiating about, I wasn't as well versed on cell towers. So when I spoke with Toon he had worked in the industry. The consultant that AT&T had hired to help get this project going had actually, one of the gentlemen there that was in charge of that actually had worked for Toon at some point, so he knew the players. He knew the players, knew the process, and he's a great negotiator. In fact, there was a point when Toon said, well, when you try to get AT&T to sign the contract, they delayed themselves. So Toon says, I'm going to take advantage of this. I think I can squeeze some more money out of them. And I said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I said, I think we have squeezed as much as we can. I said, no, trust me, Gerry, this will work. I can do this. And I thought, okay. So I gave him the go-ahead to go ahead with it, and he got even more money. I thought, wow. So Toon knew how far he could push him, went that far, and really worked hard to get me what I wanted. And the funny thing was that the owner of the tower on the property next door to me was owned by another company called American Tower, and they immediately opposed the construction of the tower on my property that AT&T wanted. And so that basically led to a hearing / court appearance. I didn't really want to go to that, but Toon, since I'd already retained him, he said, don't worry, Gerry, I'll go for you. And Toon gave me a blow-by-blow description via text messaging about exactly what was happening. And I thought, wow. The long story short is that at the end of that period, after some more negotiating and more deliberating by the judge, he ultimately approved the process. The interesting thing was that by this time, Toon had put in a lot of time and a lot of effort to go there, and it wasn't costing me a dime. So he told me, he said, if this doesn't get approved, you don't owe me a thing. And I thought, wow, that's pretty impressive that you can go all that work for me, and if nothing happens, that I don't owe you anything. I found that pretty admirable. I couldn't imagine going through this sort of a process without someone like him, and as far as I'm concerned, he's the best in the business.